Hello and welcome back to another episode of the How Long to Beat podcast, a podcast made by members of the community for members of the community. My name is Matt and I'm with Leah.
Hello.
And Roy.
Hello, jump scare.
Oh my god. We will, as always, start by chatting about the games that we have been beaten, retired, and played lately. But then also we were gonna do the obligatory spooky season chit chat, where we talk about a couple games that maybe actually managed to scare us for once, and maybe also a couple other Halloween-y questions that we will throw around for the season. And as always, we will end with a round of Guess the Game, where the aim of the game is to guess the game. Now, at this point, I would love to segue into one of my fellow co-hosts speaking about a game they might have beaten recently, but it seems since the last episode, I am unfortunately the only person that has beaten anything. So, shame on you two.
Look, we only say how long it takes to beat games. It doesn't mean that we actually beat them.
But again, cleaning your plate before anybody else.
Yet again, cleaning my plate. Yep. At least I'm eating well, which is with this game definitely true as well. I have finally played this little known game called Silent Hill 2. It's been over 5 years since I've played Silent Hill 1 for the first time. And ever since then, I've said every single year, this year I'm gonna play Silent Hill 2. I'm finally gonna do it. And every single year I didn't do it. Even though Silent Hill 1 fucking ruled and I love it and I was generally excited to play more of these games, but I don't know. You know how it is with plans and them not actually working out. This year I made promises to more people than usual to actually get to the shit, and I put it in my calendar early in the year, and I actually stuck to it when my calendar reminded me that it is time. I played Silent Hill 2.
We're evolving.
Thank you. Thank you. Every now and then there's a bit of growth in my life, so gotta cherish that. I did play the 2001 original. I did not opt for the recent remake, which when a remake was announced, I was honestly for a while convinced that would be the way for me to play it. But there were two major reasons why I ended up not buying that version of the game. For one, the price tag was crazy high in my eyes for a remake of a pre-existing game. And two, maybe even more important to me at the time at least, when news came out that Silent Hill 2 was gonna get rid of the fixed camera angles completely, not even with an option to I don't know, have it if you want it or whatever. I kinda hated that because in Silent Hill 1, I think that was kinda the first of those classic horror survival games for me that I've played. And it really showcased so well the strengths of fixed camera angles and what you can do in terms of an artistic sense and how that builds up atmosphere, the limitation of what you can see. There are so many cool tricks they do in that game with the fixed cameras. And I was expecting Silent Hill 2 would continue that, and I did not at all want to miss out on that by playing the remake. So I opted for this original version. I played I think at this point, infamous Enhanced Edition, which is a fan-made modded version that improves all sorts of technical stuff about Silent Hill 2 to make it run on modern PCs, etc. It seems like it's considered the definitive way to play original Silent Hill 2, so that's what I did, and it did work flawlessly. But I didn't know, coming back to the fixed camera angles. Now, of course, on Silent Hill 1, on the PS1, those fixed camera angles were partly due to the technical limitations that came with the system. Silent Hill 2 still uses them to a degree, but it is much less of a, integral part of the game. So really, while there are bits and pieces where the fixed camera angle still adds to the visual presentation and the overall atmosphere of the game, it is very much less important for this one than the original game. So I think with the remake I would have actually like been fine with this game not having those. But
Okay.
that aside, still like an awesome game. Still not like regretting playing the old version because something about the older graphics actually like adds something to these weird horror games anyway. So in that sense, I didn't regret it at all playing it this way. And the enhanced edition is like so cool in how many like quality of life things it also adds to the game. I highly recommend playing it this way and not paying like $70 for a remake or whatever. And the remake is still something I can see myself getting that shit in like 5 years at a steep discount or whatever, since it does also just seem like a different experience. Even the average playthrough times on how long to beat for the remake like twice as long as the original game, which is very interesting to me.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Silent Hill 2, I think it's regarded the best game in the series, and like the crowned king of survival horror games in a way. The story is very clever with all the different ways it like walks through different kinds of traumas and has all these twists and turns of different characters and whatnot. So like even for a Silent Hill game, surprisingly dark subject matter, I feel not just implied but also very visceral in parts. It's just impressive in a bunch of ways. What I wasn't expecting, though, what really surprised me more than anything, I believe, this game was shockingly easy to get through. I remember in Silent Hill 1, I like it was cool and all, but I had many struggles of actually progressing in the game with the usual things of combat being intentionally difficult and the sparse like items that you get because it is a survival horror game and whatnot. I remember in Silent Hill 1 I had to at some point after soft locking myself loading up a previous save spot and then like redo a bunch of stuff to actually get to the ending, that sort of thing. I kinda expected a similar difficulty with Silent Hill 2. Did not happen at all. I died in the entire playthrough twice. Once because I intentionally goofed around and expected to die, and the other time because I unexpectedly got like stun locked by an enemy that like bit of weird game behavior, I think. But I did like actually have any struggles of progressing ever. Like it was fine, and I actually am like so fine with that because the story and the atmosphere was still like well strong enough to provide enough entertainment there. I don't need a challenge like necessarily in my horror games.
Not every game needs to be difficulty slop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, and maybe that's just like my limited knowledge speaking, but I feel like Silent Hill games usually are difficult. I don't know. At least that was my expectation. I did play on normal difficulty. Also, shout out for this game to have a difficulty meter for one for the action and one for the puzzles, and you can like individually choose the difficulties on those two elements. That is actually really, really cool.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this game rules. They knew exactly what they were doing. I want to say it is spooky, but there's also a weird thing with Silent Hill where it's like comfy as fuck. That little like American town vibe, even with all the mist and all the creepy trauma creatures running around. There's always something like coming home when you play a Silent Hill game, I feel. It's so comfortable and cozy in a weird way when you're not like running away from Pyramid Head or whatever. It just so cool, so good, so many good vibes in different ways. I even played, and I rarely do this. I even played this sort of not DLC, but like there's like a little tiny bonus campaign for one of the side characters that was included in this, and I played through that as well. That's how much I love this. Again, I rarely do like the extra mile for anything in in video game sense. But yeah, no, this was actually fantastic. I'm so glad after 5+ years I finally fucking sat down to play this. And it didn't take me long either. I think I raced through this game in a week, which is also rare for me. Like good ass shit. If anybody if people didn't already know that Silent Hill 2 was good, let it be known now. Silent Hill 2 is good.
We've discovered a true sleeper hit right here.
yeah. I think the series is gonna go big at some point. I have a feeling about it.
I know it's been 20 years. Who even remembers it?
Yeah, nobody.
I mean, the hill has been really silent.
Yeah. It's not been saying much. So that was my one game beaten since last time, and that is all our beaten games for this episode. So let us move on to the retired and paused section. And I feel like it is time for Leah to speak for a bit.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Now I am the Silent Hill.
Oh no, we're all Silent Hill.
So yeah, the first thing I have on my retired is Quetzal, which is a mobile card game that's based on like Aztec gods and culture and religion, mythology sort of thing. It's very much an indie. I looked up on their website and they have like 3 games and they have like a LinkedIn page, and I went to the LinkedIn page and the company is 1 person. So they are very indie.
Mm.
But it seems like a cool game. At the time, this was around the time where I was like, let's find every single trading card game that is in the Play Store and play all of them. So I went through the tutorial and I'm a little confused about how certain things, because there's like where you put your monsters, where you put your spells, kind of pretty much the same as like other card games. But what's confusing about this one is the tutorial doesn't really explain. There's like 2 slots that are tapped or exerted or whatever format on the board, and they don't really explain why certain things go there and why certain things don't go there. Like I kept dragging them, like, okay, this goes here. They're like, no, that doesn't, you can't do that yet. And I'm like, I don't really fully understand. So I paused that for now because they also have like a little map to it that you're supposed to, as you go along, you're supposed to beat different gods or whatever, which is pretty cool in my book. Also having like the little map, I know exactly how long this game is, and it's not just going to take me forever to play. So I'm interested in seeing where this is going to go. I don't have time for it right now. So that's why that's
too many card games in your life.
Yeah.
Overloaded with card games.
Yeah, basically. The second one is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That's on my list here, which is actually the second Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that I downloaded. And I think, like, if I had to rank all these card games as I'm going, I think it's a little closer to One Piece in my rankings, where, like, it's a fun game and it's a little bit more complex than what I'm used to playing. But it's nice to play. Like, if somebody was just like, oh, hey, if you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, okay, I understand the basics. I can play a game. But it's not something that I myself am going to be like, hey, you know what? You guys should play with me right now. Let's play Yu-Gi-Oh! So,
makes sense.
Also, this game, there's Master Duel and Duel Links, and Master Duel is landscape. And I know that also Arena is landscape when you're playing Magic. But I don't like mobile games that are landscape because I don't like having to switch my phone to landscape. Like, I barely watch YouTube videos on my phone just because I don't want to have to switch my phone. I have it like auto locked to portrait mode whatsoever. So like that like lost the point there where I was like, oh, I have to move my phone to landscape just to play this game. Like, it's not. The other one is portrait mode. So I was like, this I prefer a lot more.
It's kind of funny to me because what I get annoyed with a lot of stuff is when it's not in landscape mode because it cuts off more of the screen. It feels like I'm always like, I have like a fantasy football program that refuses to go to landscape mode, and I don't want to use it. I just end up going to my computer because it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's more interesting than Pokemon. I think I've just learned that there's nothing about Pokemon that I will ever be interested in, but at least Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dodged the bullet there.
Yu-Gi-Oh! There's something I can see. It seems to me it seems a little bit more like Digimon's older brother, which may sound very strange coming from like a newcomer or whatever. Like Digimon to me always felt like the GoBots to Pokemon's Transformers sort of thing, where then Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out and it was just like, instead of using real monsters at all, or like monsters in your computer, we're just going to just do random shit and like all chaos breaks loose. So it just feels like it's almost like a ripoff of Digimon in that sense, where it's just like even more removed from Pokemon.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that this is my impression as somebody who's coming at them with like no prior knowledge to anything. I don't expect that I'm right in any sense of that. But yeah, it just felt like I do think I enjoy playing this more than I would Digimon even. So it has that plus to it, but like it almost feels like Magic in the fact that there seems to be so many different cards where I don't know if I could ever fully get my head around everything that's possible in this game.
I always say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like the radical on crack version of Magic. It's like
that's what it feels like.
But also completely over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. And that's saying a lot considering Magic now.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, so the other thing I have, I mean, we can go, let's go to Magic also, because Arena apparently on my PC just doesn't want to work whatsoever in any shape or form. I watched a whole movie in my other monitor waiting for the server to load because I just wanted to edit my deck.
That's
it. I wasn't not even trying to do a match. It'll let me do a match, but if I try to edit my deck, it's like waiting for server for 2 hours. And I was like, okay,
that's so weird.
Like, I can do it on my phone. So like I edit my decks on my phone and then I go back, I like refresh the page in the PC version. Then it's like, okay, now you can play this game. So it's like this weird like Wii U version of like playing with like the second monitor of my phone.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I just gave up on the PC version.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
But I didn't uninstall it because again, that was like forever to install in the first place. So I was like, maybe eventually there'll be like an update and it'll work on my computer. So like I have the disk space, I might as well just leave it there. So
it makes sense.
So yeah, I just left it. And every once in a while I'll open it. I'm like, does it work again? No, okay, quit. And to open it on my phone.
So weird.
But next I tried Warhammer Warpforge, which my local store also does Warhammer nights. So I was trying to see if that's going to be how I can get into like the local community if they did like newbie nights or whatever. But
is that a card game as well?
It's weird because in the actual mobile app, they're like figures, but they're like cardboard figures. But you still play it like a card game. Like you have your little hand of figures or whatever, like cardboard. Like, you know, like when you're playing a board game and you have that little stand and your cardboard person like sits on top of it. And like you just like move your... It's like a little cardboard person standee, essentially. And that's what you're using in this game, where it's just like you have like a whole little list of cards to pull out, and like you have this certain energy that you exert to put out that character or whatever. And there's 3 of them on the battlefield, and you have to figure out like who you're going to attack or whatever. But there's also a weird rule about like you can only attack whoever is active. You can't attack the people on the sides, and you have to attack them until they kill the people on the sides. And it was very confusing for a tutorial. And I was like, listen, if the tutorial is this confusing, what is it going to be like in the actual game?
Listen as well, like there are Warhammer Magic cards, I'm pretty sure. You could just play that.
That's probably,
you wanted a Warhammer card game, yeah.
But like, up until this point, my only knowledge of Warhammer were 3 things. Is that Henry Cavill or whatever, who isn't Superman and who isn't The Witcher, which are like the only 2 things that I knew him for. So he's just a guy now, I guess, in Hollywood. But he there's like supercuts on YouTube of like every time that he goes off the rails on some interview where like he's talking about Warhammer and he loves Warhammer. So I know that apparently this one guy always gets like some grief about it during his interviews, and I was like, that's great. Don't know what he's talking about, but that's great. I also have a Hylian crest on my bag that I do my errands with, and one time at the grocery store, the cashier thought it was a Warhammer symbol. So I was like, God. I don't know what kind of symbols are in Warhammer, and now I need to find out what it is. But if I did find it in this game, it looks nothing like the Hylian crest. So I don't know what that guy was trying to like. It wasn't like he was trying to hit on me either, because we were just like bagging my groceries. So I was like, what? Like, I don't know what you were trying to do there.
What do you think? I just think.
Yeah. And the last thing I know is that I've watched a lot of streamers play the last Warhammer, like actual video game, and I have no idea what was going on in that game. So it does make sense that I still have no idea what's going on when it comes to this card game, figure game anyway. But anyway, what made me retire it is that it's very military-like, which I kind of understood. It was kind of like very Helldivers sort of thing. But I don't know, like I understand that like sports and games are all just like analogs for wars. You have like both sides and they're fighting and whoever wins or whatever.
True.
But like, I don't need it to be that obvious that it's a war going on, and the way that they speak about each other, the different factions, feels very deep-seated. Like I know that's part of like the world building, but like it's just a game. Like we don't need them being like those like dumb morons in that side and they have no intellect or whatever, and I'm like, we don't need to be this like angry about it. It's just like, I'm just hitting you with, you know, fake numbers here, calm down. So like I get that it's part of their world building or whatever, but I was like, this feels like very aggressive just to play this game. So
yeah, I get
like,
what you mean.
I see that sort of thing in like Elder Scrolls sometimes too, and I'm just like, I don't really need this on like my fantasy world. Like I'm one of those people who like to like disappear in my media. Like I don't need the media to be like relatable or like realistic in any sort of way. So like when you start bringing like real negative stuff into fantasy, it really like bothers me. So I was like,
I mean, unless you
really
use
need,
it
like,
to have a point, I guess. But yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it just ends up being like, okay, I didn't need to have like all this negative stuff in my like downtime as well. So
yeah.
So yeah, so if I want like very satirical versions of war, I can just play Helldivers. Or if I want, you know, that sort of thing, I can just play Helldivers or something that's, you know, a little bit more witty with it. So Warhammer will not be my segue into the local community, I guess. And now we come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is the better Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, I would say, of the two that I played. I really, really enjoy this one. Joey Wheeler is 100% my favorite dude. I love that guy.
Dude, is Joey still around? Like, he's a season 1 character. I had no idea.
I don't know. I don't know that he's like the second character you can unlock, and like they were like, oh, you can play with his deck. I was like, immediately, yes.
Fuck yes.
I'm gonna get Joey's, and I played like the rest of the stuff that I could play with Joey, because I was just like, he's all I care about. That's it. So so I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was like, oh, this is supposed to be like his rival or whatever, and then I had to like look it up, and they were like, no, it's his best friend. And I was like, done. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, I'm glad. I'm glad.
That's cool.
Absolutely love Joey. I was like, give me a game where it's just Joey. I would be very happy.
Joey the best.
Yeah.
He was my favorite of the show, so I completely agree with this statement.
Yeah, so I need to. He might actually be the reason why I check out the show in the first place.
Oh yeah,
the first season is very fun. Yeah.
He showed up and I was like, who's this guy? And I was just like, I love his accent. He's very New York for some reason. I have no idea why. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi sounds like he's a 40-year-old man, but Joey Wheeler just sounds like he's from Brooklyn. I was like, exactly. I love this guy.
He's Joey Wheeler.
Nothing makes sense but Joey. Yeah. So that was great, except for I got up to the point where I was gonna have to like either spend money or start grinding to like open other things, and I was just like, I'm not. I was like, I'm not that interested in this game to continue grinding these 2 wheels or whatever.
I got a question about, is it like multiplayer only, or do you have like single player content in this?
I'm pretty sure it's just single player because that's all I was only playing against myself. So
that
I'm
seems really rare.
Dueling's had multiplayer, I believe.
Okay.
If it's only single player, I might actually be interested in this as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just PvE because I didn't see any, unless I wasn't paying attention to where a username would be. I think it was just like this is the enemy, and it's just like some other character in the anime or show that was just like, now you're gonna defeat them, and now you can play as them if you want, or their deck.
I know, I don't know if it's still like that, but I know in the past what it was is that there's like a bunch of PvE content, and there's like a PvP arena mode to play against people.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I would expect that. I'm looking at the Steam page now. It actually does say full single campaign. Yeah, that's cool. There might be, I'm not big on Yu-Gi-Oh. I dabbled in it back in the day. Also, some of the video games. Like, it's fun nonsense. I wouldn't mind like giving it more than Yu-Gi-Oh a little peek this way at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they got the cockroach cards in there.
Yeah, I was looking for freaking Kuribo, but I guess I didn't make it to that point. So,
Roy, is Kuribo legal these days? Is it still around?
Oh, Kuribo's legal. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have a rotation. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't rotate.
But
stats.
they do
Everything is legal. That's not on the forbidden.
No, but they do have
limited,
banned cards, don't they?
They do. Why would Kuribo be banned?
Dude, I don't fucking.
Too fluffy.
Yeah, it's a dangerous monster, man. I don't know. Damn.
Kuribo has its own archetype even now.
Yeah, that's what I heard that sort of stuff. I feel like Kuribo is big. I don't know what dangers are behind that fur. Like, come on.
And you can multiply up to 5. It's crazy.
That's massive.
Yeah, so that's the end of what I've retired or paused.
Right. One day you will have played every single digital card game in the world. I believe in you.
Hearthstone next, I suppose.
Yeah, how is that not happening? I guess because it doesn't have a local game store presence. I guess that's more what you're looking for.
It's Blizzard, right? So like I don't.
Yeah.
Other than World of Warcraft, that's not true. Also Overwatch, I guess. Yeah, I guess there's no reason I haven't got to Hearthstone. What I wanted to do was play. I keep on seeing Gwent in the store too, but I have no interest in Witcher, so I don't care about that. But also there is Tales of Tribute in Elder Scrolls, which doesn't have its own app, so that means I have to go into Elder Scrolls Online and actually play it there, which I've never done because I don't know what I'm doing. But that might actually be my next step, actually, just because I already play Elder Scrolls Online.
A card game inside of a full video game. Okay, cool.
Just like Final Fantasy VIII.
I mean, they do have poker in Red Dead, and they do have mills in Assassin's Creed. So
yeah,
it does happen. It does happen, and people get stuck in it.
I love that Mills is in there, man. That is it's so good. All right, I guess moving on to my.
It could be my turn.
Sure, Roy. Would you like to take this?
Yes. I haven't done anything retired or paused. Matt, your go.
There we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, mine is like almost as quick as this because I don't really have much to say about that. I got 2 games here. For one, Kind Words 2. It's like paused or whatever. This is not a game you play to complete it anyway. It is something that you boot up every now and then. And I've just found myself not having booted it up much recently, so I'm just like making the decision now to remove it from my playing tab for now. That's really all that is. And sort of equally, Pokemon Ultra Moon, which I'm still intending to finish, but like I just can't be asked to pick up my 3DS or whatever. Like it's not been happening lately. So I'm just, embracing that truth and like actually moving it to my past collection or whatever. Hopefully actually coming back to this one because I did enjoy it. But it's not happening right now. Actually, maybe I have some traveling time coming up with little vacation and whatever. That might actually be the perfect time for me to put that in my, pocket and
Yeah.
get that done. Yeah, maybe this is not actually retired after all.
I mean, the 3DS, it's a portable system.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Not unretires the game live on stream.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but that might actually be true. Yeah. But that's gonna be it for now, which already moves us on to what we are actually playing right now. And I would really enjoy Roy right now. I want to hear your voice here.
Yeah, I was about to say I should probably start off. First off, Wordle, as normal, I did get it in 4 while the podcast was on, so everybody's aware.
Of course.
Same as always. Tabletop Simulator, just the same stuff as a while. Civilization 4, I was just playing for like 5 hours, just chilling with the game. Not much doing. I think I'm in a good
Just
situation.
5 hours. No big deal.
Yeah, you listen to some YouTube videos, you play Civilization 4, you lose 5 hours of your life. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So the two kind of newer stuff I've been playing, I'll start with the first one I played, which was Pokemon Stadium 1. Now, Pokemon Stadium 2, I think, is a game I really like. I'd actually say it's one of the best Pokemon games, and it's probably a personal favorite as well, I would say. But I've never played the first one, only the second. It basically feels like a less refined Pokemon Stadium 2, which makes sense. It's fun to play with all the Gen 1 mechanics and all their weirdness. Not all of it, because some of it's fixed, but you know what I mean. In a game that has, like, the challenging cups and, like, the gym leader castle and stuff.
The challenging cups? What?
Well, like,
did I hear that right?
In that game, there's, like, a cup system.
Oh, cups! I thought cops as in the police. I was thinking you're not doing any illegal stuff in there, right?
No, Officer Jenny is not getting involved here, no.
Unfortunate.
But no. It's like, there's like Prime Cup, which is all Pokemon are level 100. There's Petite Cup, which is like level 15 to 20. I actually forget the name of one of the cups, so it's like level 25, 35 or something like that. And then I think Whittle Cup is like 5, but was that Pokemon Stadium 2 now that I think about it? I like Pokemon Stadium 2's cup collection better, honestly.
You can just lie. We will not catch you on that.
I could, but I won't.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's 4 levels of it. I do like how they flavor this one, where every because there's like 8 matches and they flavor each one as being like a different badge. That's kind of fun. But now obviously since I'm playing on Switch, I'm not like emulating it. I just realized I said PC for some reason. It is actually on Switch. But because it's on Switch, I don't have like the transferring Pokemon over from a Gen 1 game I've played that you can do.
Yeah.
But I've always liked kind of playing with the rental Pokemon anyway when I play Pokemon Stadium 2, because it's a fun challenge to figure out what the actual good movesets are among the rental Pokemon, because they tend to make it so that the higher evolved Pokemon have worse moves in some ways, but sometimes the worst moves are still good moves, or the bad moves of the lesser ones make up for the stats, so on and so forth. So it's fun to mix that around and see what's good. I didn't play a ton of it yet, but this is probably one I'm just going to kind of like poke at by just like picking up my Switch, popping it up, like listening to a video or something. Yeah, I'll play a round of Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah. Those stadium games have always been kind of weird to me because, especially at the time, they were hugely popular. And I must assume that was mostly because you got to see your Pokemon in 3D. Gameplay-wise, you're just taking away all of the exploration and traveling, whatever that makes the main games interesting, and you just focus on the
But
fights. I feel like that's not
here's
that
the thing.
cool.
Here's the thing. Pokemon's
Yeah.
combat is actually insanely complex and interesting if you try to dive into it. It's when you actually play like Pokemon at any kind of remotely competitive level, it's one of the most
Yeah.
complex RPGs that's ever been made, kind of thing.
I
there's
believe
and
that.
and there's very, very few, I would say, especially at the time, PvP Pokemon like RPGs. Like how many PvP RPGs from from the 90s can you think of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and because you can play your friends and set all the rules and do all that, so it's always fun, you know.
But you could also just
play
link your
some friends.
Gay Boys together.
Well, for what? Well, but here's the thing: you don't even need a Game Boy or anything to do that, though, because you have the rental Pokemon. So I bet there's a decent amount of people who never played a Pokemon game on a handheld and played Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah. What a bunch
Kind of
of
thing.
losers.
Plus, I would also say when it comes to multiplayer, Pokemon Stadium is better than Link Cable because you can set a bunch of rules and customize it significantly more.
Right. I don't know. It just it's not the part that I'm most interested in with Pokemon. I want to catch those freakazoids.
I spent years playing Pokemon Showdown, so I was on Smogod.com playing the meta and playing against the meta with my Regice because I liked it more than Blissey.
Why the hell is Smogon even called? Like, that's the German name for coffin. Why is it a German like owned website or whatever? I've always wondered that. Do you know that? Complete tangent, but
no, I don't. I mean, my immediate thought is that you wouldn't want to name it Coughing because you could get sued.
but there's like 150 other Pokemon that you could name your game after. I don't know.
Yeah, but Coughing's their logo, so maybe the dude just really likes Coughing.
Smogon is still the name of the Pokemon. It's just the German version.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, you see, Coughing. The thing is, Coughing is copyrighted. I don't think Smogon
surely is. It's still, of course, it's gotta be. They must be copywriting the localized names of their creations. Surely.
All right, Google, is the name Smogon copyrighted?
It's gotta be, man. If Coffin is, Smogon
Google
must be.
doesn't seem to think it is, but it doesn't actually know.
I don't believe Google. I don't believe Google. I'm gonna do research after this episode.
That's right. On this podcast, we look up if Pokemon names are copywritten. That's what we do.
If we have lawyers in the audience that can answer this question, please let us know. Write us a message.
I suppose it'd probably be trademarked rather than copywritten too.
Oh yeah, whatever. It's all the same shit. In my dumb brain.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe I gotta use coffee next time I play Pokemon Stadium in memoriam of this discussion.
Hell yeah, it's a good Pokemon.
Smogon is named after poisonous gas attack Smog from the first generation Pokemon game, specifically associated with coughing and wheezing. This attack, along with the Pokemon who used it, became an early symbol of the emerging competitive strategies.
Oh, so it was like a competitive, relevant, like staple Pokemon?
I mean, I've never heard of coughing using Smog for competitive. Especially when the website would have been made, which is like 2004. Damn. But then the last game I played is coughing's fun, but you would use wheezing usually anyway, and you wouldn't use Smog.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But the last game that I've been playing, which will probably be on my beat-in list next time we do the podcast, is a game that Matt has been, which is Hatsune Miku Bomb Squad.
Heyo.
You know, your classic Hatsune Miku bomb defusal game.
In the long-running series.
But you know, very common genre. I'm only about a fourth of the way through this. I started playing it last night because I wanted to play and beat it before the podcast, but stuff kind of got in the way. I didn't play until it was late, and eventually my sleepiness made it too hard to get through a game that requires actual brain power. But
yeah,
this is pretty fun so far. You know, The art is quite cute, which immediately jumped out. I do love the Game Boy Color aesthetic when it's used properly, and it feels like it fits very well with Hatsune Miku, which is a plus. But so far, it seems like, reasonably difficult brain teaser kind of stuff. You got to defuse a bomb, and you have like a few symbols. The symbols have to go in some specific order. Like at the point I'm at, there's stars, hearts, diamonds. I assume that there's probably gonna end up with like 5 or 6 symbols or some shit. And like it can be blue or red. So like you can see like instructions for what to do, and it can be like top left blue, bottom corners diamond, and whatnot, and you have to figure out what exactly it is with the information you have, which can get pretty tricky at points, I would say, but so far, I haven't hit any excessive difficulty. I've heard near the end it gets kind of difficult, but so far it's not like too bad. The visuals and fluff is nice. The puzzles are like a solid little thing. I'm enjoying this so far. I definitely want to beat it.
Yeah, it's dope shit.
Yeah.
And talking about the difficulty, I'm gonna put on my sunglasses and like brag a bit. I didn't make a single mistake during my playthrough. I got them all right on the first try.
Really?
Yep. I have video
you
proof.
have a YouTube video, so you can, so it's confirmable too. Definitely not.
I cannot lie.
In fact, I messed up on the second one because I didn't understand what the instructions were trying to tell me at one point.
Yeah, well, I mean that doesn't count. That's fine. Still gotta learn the rules.
Yeah, but I've definitely messed up a few other times. But yeah, this seems like an certified itch.io banger. For Instruments, I'll probably nominate this.
Very, very good one.
If it wasn't already on there.
I don't think so.
I hope that we see more Hatsune Miku bomb squads.
Yeah, surely.
Because Hatsune Miku just needs more games in general, really.
I'm not sure if that's a joke or if you read that genuine.
Me?
Since there are surprising amount already.
There are, but a lot of them are rhythm games. I'd like to see Hatsune Miku in more genres.
She's also now in Sonic Racing, isn't she?
Yeah, Crossroads.
Or did I make that up? Yeah.
No, she's in Crossroads, but that's more as a guest character than a Hatsune Miku game. You know what I mean?
No, that's a Miku game now.
I mean,
to me it is.
Man, imagine if Microsoft goes like third party and Hatsune Miku is in Minecraft. All the memes explode.
Jesus Christ.
But Hatsune Miku adjacent, but I do still really, really need to play the Black Star Shooter PSP game, which I really want to play. So that's another Hatsune Miku style game. Oh, and she's in Crypt of the Necrodancer. Yeah,
I got that DLC. I want to play that too. Yeah.
Matt's slowly getting integrated into the Hatsune Miku culture.
I'm cool. I'm hip with the youth. I know what's cool right now.
He knows Hatsune. He knows Miku. But that's all the games I've been playing anyway.
Yeah. Leah, do you want to talk about more card games?
Yeah, I can do that.
All of the card games.
Yeah. I'm still playing Marvel Snap. I'm enjoying it, but it's gotten to the point where it's not that I'm amazing at this. It's just a very simple card game to play. So there's no real fun because I'm easily winning every damn match that I'm playing. Where like it's getting to be like very suspicious because like I will play things and I'll be like, that's fine. I'm going to lose this location because they're just going to throw a bunch of people in that and just dominate that section of the board. And then they don't. And then they just put all their stuff in the other one that they were losing anyway. And I was like, why did you do that? I clearly would have, if I were you, I would have done this. So now I'm starting to be like, are these real people am I playing? Or are these just like bots that are trying to like buff me up or something?
Oh no.
Maybe you're just too good.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I am. I'm just kind of just being like, oh, they're ahead of me on that. Like, I'm not great at math. So, like, I just see numbers. I'm like, that number bigger. Okay, cool. That one's winning. Okay, cool. And, like, you can tell when you're winning because it's orange instead of, like, grayed out. So, like, I don't even have to, like, look at the number. I'm like, that's orange. I'm winning here. That's orange. I'm winning there. At the end. And, like, it shouldn't be that complicated to play the other side of things also. Like there's a tabletop simulator version of this. And I was just playing against myself. And I was like, I'm doing better in Tabletop Simulator playing against myself than I am in these bot matches or these user matches or whatever online.
You'd be surprised how little people can cook sometimes.
Well, I mean, like,
what a sentence.
Thank you.
Yeah, good one.
But like, considering like every other game, like in every other card game that I've been playing, I'm like either not anywhere near winning or just like very close to the edge, and then they like, do the last few moves and just like dominate the game. So for me to be just like coasting through this just seems like a little strange to me, where I'm just like, it's not like a baby app. It's not a baby game, but it's not chess.
It's for other people though.
Oh,
sorry.
Whoa.
I'm joking.
But like, and like, I don't think that my deck is that amazing. Like, I've put all the ones that work for how I play the game in that deck, and I just use that same deck, and I haven't had to like hit at any sort of way versus the way that I've had in every other game that I've been playing. So I'm very confused, where it's just kind of like people to me that they used to play this game and they don't play it anymore because it was very obvious that people were just like paying their way up the ladder and like defeating the game. And I'm like, if I'm winning so well, what's the difference now in this game that I'm not hitting that wall here like I have in other games? So it almost feels like it's nice to play, but it's not. I don't feel like I'm learning anything anymore. Where it's not fun to play because I'm not actually having to strategize and figure out like where I'm just like, throw that one. That card has a bigger number. Throw that over there. That card has a bigger number there. We've forgotten about that location because that location's already lost. So who cares? So it's a little strange.
Yeah, it's strong opposite of what I keep hearing about this game from other people that are really into this. Like, people talk about this like it's like a major fucking strategic card game thing or whatever.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that it is. Like,
yeah, like, I believe you.
I'm also playing Lorcana and like still online, and like I'm only like it's been like maybe a month of playing this. Like, I think I started playing it like around the time when that pre-release for Spider-Man you went to. So that was like end of last month.
Yeah.
So like maybe like 3 weeks I've been playing Lorcana, like at least 4 matches a day. Not as obsessively as I've been playing Magic, but I'm still playing Lorcana. And I'm only just starting to understand how my play strategy works to getting me to win games. Like there's been points I'm getting closer to actually winning a game now in that, like I can win some things in Magic, but I can't in Lorcana yet. But I've gotten very close and I'm starting to get to that point. So I'm like, I don't understand why Lorcana and Magic are harder for me to deal with than Marvel Snap. But like Lorcana, we have like the gateway version of like, there's like different beginner decks or whatever. So my boyfriend and I played the gateway version and he wasn't too thrilled about it, but he did win, which I was like inevitable because I lose every game that I play in this. So that's fine. But I also gave him the deck that I usually use to win with. So he like, between his expertise and having the better deck, like I wasn't going to win anyway. But yeah, he wasn't thrilled about it. And he was just like, yeah, I guess it's fine or whatever. So I was like, well, if it was so easy for him, then, clearly I have a lot to learn in Lorcana myself. So we'll see. So that's basically all I have to say about Lorcana at this point in time. But the next one on my list is Mahjong Soul.
Freaking Mahjong, dog. That's not a card game.
The latest entry in the Dark Souls series.
Oh, gosh.
So I have been wanting to learn Mahjong for a very long time. Like I play, like every other app in the App Store is like the little match 2 tiles on this big, mash of things or whatever. But I know that every time that I've seen people in real life playing, it's more like rummy sort of poker sort of game. And I'm like, that's clearly a different game than what the Mahjong
apps
are in the in the store. So I was like, I want to learn real Mahjong. And my best friend, her mom plays Mahjong at their like community center where they live. So I was like, well, if I learn how to play Mahjong, we can play when I come visit you. So I don't know where. I think I was probably looking for Magic streams on Twitch, and somebody was playing this in the like board game section. And I was like, what's this? I could see the board and I can tell that it was like more of a rummy setup. And I was like, is this actual Mahjong? And the app is free. It's on mobile and on Steam. So I was like, finally, I can get to learn this game that I've been wanting to play the real way.
And it got anime girls too. What else do you want?
It's true.
That's all you need.
And also, you can buy them different outfits depending on how much points you get.
Of course.
So, yeah. So the thing is, the tutorial for this, again, it's beyond what my brain can handle a lot of the times, learning like all the different aspects of this. So like, what are winning hands and what could you possibly do? You know, what are like the things where like, even if you're not winning, you can do this one thing and it'll, you know, you'll get more points. So that's been very confusing to learn. And there's like the learning curve is huge, but I have enough motivation to learn it because I actually know people who play it. So this is probably the closest I will get to actually having people play with me in any of these card games in real life. So it's weird because like it does, like most of the time with games, I'm playing a story and story ends and that's the end of the game, roll credits, the end. So it's harder in these sort of games for me to like decide when to quit. You kind of have to like have your own goals for games like these where it's just like, okay, do you just want to do the tutorial? Do you want to run it until you like hit a wall like in the Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever? So like I don't really have a set goal here. I'm just playing until like I find out, oh, that's something I want to like aim towards that'll be my goal for this game or whatever. So I haven't found that yet. So I'm just kind of still figuring out how much fun I'm having versus how much I'm learning and how much my skill is increasing over time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. My next game is Tricky Bridge, since I decided that since at this point I'm just going down the like Lonely Forever and like play all the like grandma tile games, I might as well just play Bridge too. So
Gin Rummy, yeah, baby.
yeah. So I found there's this tutorial version of Bridge, but this one has like a little story to it, which pulled me in. And this is the problem with this game, because I just said that like I didn't have a real goal for Mahjong, but for Bridge it was like I'll just learn the rules and then I'll be done with it. But this story, they start you off with like this little robot who like is a bartender at this bar that no one goes to. I don't know why the bar is still in session if nobody goes like in for business, if nobody is going there. But like it's like this little bar under a bridge and he's like real sad or whatever. And then he's like, nobody wants to play Bridge anymore. And then you're like, oh, you know, you can teach me and then we can play. And he was like, okay, yeah. And then like as it goes on, he like owes money to these other robots or whatever. So you have to like get into this competition to help him win back the money for his bar or something. And I'm like super invested in this fucking story of this robot. So like, even though I've gotten to the point where like, I think I've finished the tutorial now where I just want to leave the game, I haven't uninstalled it because I want to help this robot in his story.
Oh my God.
So this story has guilted me from ever deleting it. You know, I have to at least get through to see what this contest is or whatever. So, but it's cool because it's also very like low stakes of a game after I've spent like building my deck in Lorcana or like in Magic and like waiting for server for 50,000 minutes. And I'm just like, look, I can open Bridge. And the game will start immediately. I can play the game, I can close the game, and when I want to come back to the game, it'll start immediately. So I was like, this is good to have in my arsenal right now for when I need to, well, I'm like waiting for my birds to go to sleep at night or like I'm washing clothes or something. So that's that. Then there is Magarena, which is basically if you took Solitaire from the 1990s and made it Magic, essentially.
Excuse me?
It's like some Java program that somebody made in like 2018 or something for Magic the Gathering. But the UI of it looks like Solitaire from the 90s. And it's so janky in the way that it's I only downloaded just because I was getting desperate because Arena was taking forever to download. And I was like, I want to play this game. And I was like, there has to be some other way of playing this.
There must be.
So I found Magarena, but I had to download like 2 different things just to get it to work on my PC. It won't open on my Mac because it thinks it's a virus. Even like there's ways to get around it on the Mac and just be like, no, it's fine. It's just open the thing and it still won't open because it's just like, no, you need like 3 dependencies that don't exist anymore. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I played for a while, but like it was weird to figure out like when, like it'll tap cards for you, but then like when they're going to attack, it puts the card on top of the other card, so I can't see what card they're attacking. It's very strange. So like I played like four games of it and like thought I was winning and then it wasn't winning and then it would crash. So I was like, you know what, I just deal with the stress of Arena. So I just left that one alone for now.
I want to say, when I try Googling Magarena, Google really wants to show me the Macarena. It's
yeah.
very disappointing.
That's funny.
Yeah, the only way you can download it's like from their GitHub or whatever, which I don't even know how I even got it in the first place. Yeah, so then I forgot where I found out, but apparently Epic has the version of Arena that works on Macs and not Steam for some reason. So I was like, oh, maybe I can download it on my Mac. Maybe it'll work better on my Mac than it does on PC for some reason. I don't know why that. I figured that would be a thing, but I was like, it's kind of funny if I would only be able to play this on a Mac that I'm only on for like 2 hours a day versus the PC that I'm on for the rest of the time of the day. But apparently it's the same. I think, however they got it to work it's the same version as mobile because I started playing. I went back to the tutorial to like play the tutorial and it froze in the same place that it froze on my mobile. So I had to wait until I was playing it on the PC so I can get out of the tutorial and then go back into it on my Mac to play it from there. And it works okay on there, but it still freezes in the same way that it freezes on my mobile app. So I was like, for that, I know how it works on my mobile app. I know how it works on PC. We're just going to leave it like that. So I also didn't uninstall it from my Mac because it took like an hour to download to begin with. So I was like, we're just going to leave that there. We're just going to leave that there for now until, But I did get Tabletop Simulator working on all of my devices. So that seems to be, well, not my phone, but like on PC and Mac, it was able to download and works fine. And I was able to play Solitaire for another 20 minutes. So
thank God.
So there was that.
Damn.
So
oh yeah, 20 minutes Solitaire.
Yeah. And then that's how my Magic the Gathering journey has gone this week.
I'm wondering if you're trying to gather too much magic and that's why your devices are failing. They can't handle it.
It's too magical.
Clearly.
But also there's a pauper group happening tomorrow at 2:00 by me. So.
Let's freaking go, dog. Best constructed format.
Yeah, hopefully I can go to that. And somebody said that they had like extra decks for me to play with. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna lose regardless what deck I'm using. Yeah. But at least I can see what the community is like at all. So
yeah,
that. So we'll see how that goes.
I guess that moves us to my playing games, and that actually also fits very well with your upcoming Pauper experience, because I got a Pauper experience just yesterday that is very similar. But first, the video game version. Well, I'm still playing Magic the Gathering Arena as well. I'm still dabbling in the ranked standard games mostly. And every now and then, when I got the points for it, I do a draft, which is always the highlight of these gaming sessions. I've also had a good 2 hours playing some friendly matches with previous podcast host, Abatage, aka Josh, he got pulled into the magic a bit as well, apparently, through all this talking on the Discord, probably. So that was cool. And my favorite thing to do every day at work is pooping on company time and playing a good round against some loser online. And they've been very successful lately. I've gotten a good couple of W's by having my white throne meetings over there. So can't complain at all. And of course, still going regularly at this point to like real life paper magic events, specifically the pauper format, which I still love. And yesterday we also we kind of graduated our pauper group from like being a sideshow to becoming part of the main Friday Night Magic event, which is cool, which is gonna, pull in even more people because it's gonna start being actually advertised, I think, by the store as well, and not just us, communicating with the store owner and like bargaining about a time slot. The thing is, though, being part of the Friday Night Magic, it is now considered an official Wizards of the Coast event. And that also means there will no longer be proxies involved like in the previous matches, meaning you cannot print out cards to, play with those. You have to own legitimate cards. Or, somebody could end up complaining and the store would be in big trouble, being an official Wizards of the Coast event. Which my stupid ass banding deck that I kept bringing to those previous events, I still have not yet gotten every card I need. So yesterday as well, somebody lent me a spare deck of theirs, which was a mono red deck, which is currently like this type of deck is kind of like described as the most straightforward, brain dead, successful kind of deck. Some of the most successful decks in proper pro championships are currently mono red aggressive decks. So I had all things going for myself, but even with that, I lost every single round. So really doesn't matter. Having a good deck is not all that matters. You actually have the skill to fucking use that thing. So I hope you will do better than I did with your borrowed deck if you get there.
With my limited experience.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's still just cool to play with people. I'm still enjoying these paper magic events greatly. I cannot wait to actually have my banding deck complete and can like play that in future events as well. In the last event where proxy cards were still allowed and I was still able to play the at the time current version of my banding deck, we had the first like major altercation, me and my opponent, about some rule questions, which for the ones that don't know, but I talked about this before, banding is an ancient ability in Magic the Gathering from the very, very first card set that was discontinued really, really quickly because it is considered so unnecessarily complicated. And the way it interacts with other abilities makes it even worse. Of course, I decided to play with these cards after I found out they were legal in this specific format. Because I would never ever get another chance to fuck around with that stupid stuff. And if I can't win a game, I at least want to have fun playing weird stuff. So that's why I built a whole deck around that thing. And so far, it has been kind of fun. People like think it's been funny that I bring banding or like because it's also kind of a meme already. And people that like the one person actually knew what the hell it was and kind of knew the rules and was actually excited to see me try to make a functional deck with that and that whatnot. I gotten genuine like advice by these pro players on how you could make this weird ability into a functioning worthwhile deck and whatnot, which is a cool experience. But recently there was the first major altercation where I was using. I had a big advantage due to the banding effect from my understanding, but my opponent was extremely skeptical and didn't believe it. Even getting in a second opinion kind of was on my opponent's side and didn't believe me. So for the time being, we had to say, okay, well, then we will not let me have my advantage, and I will lose the game. Whatever, not gonna do a big deal about it. But I did, after the match, check the extended official rules to figure out, to have the proof to explain to them what was actually going on. And it was correct. And nobody can doubt me now. I got the receipts. From now on, I will be able to use this advantage with the banding ability to my full advantage, and they can suck it. But this actually was it was frustrating at the time, but it's a cool thing because this banding ability that nobody plays makes people, look closer and question some abilities in Magic that they take for granted because it is so uniquely interactive with other abilities. I had to explain basically to these pro players some specific details to very common other ability that was never relevant, so nobody actually knew those like fine details in how they actually play out on the battlefield. And it's just cool that I can even make these seasoned players like question some common knowledge stuff because now they have to, because my stupid rare ability that I bring to the table is forcing them to think differently about things.
Yeah, that's the best way to play.
Yeah. Just be annoying. That's my W for the day. Yeah, well, that's my Magic stuff.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and it is. Can't wait to be even more annoying in the future. 2 other games that I'm playing right now. One is a game that I've already mentioned in the last episode, Vox Populi Germany 2025. That like political simulation game, specifically simulating the most recent German parliamentary elections. I've been really teetering with this game, whether I will actually keep playing it or if I should retire it. There are genuinely bits here in this game that I enjoy. I mentioned last time that in this, election simulator thing here, there are the TV debates between politicians that are basically played out like turn-based card games with a little bit of deck building as well, which I greatly enjoy, of course. Even if it's not the most complex or most exciting card game. That kind of keeps me hanging on a bit. The entire like game around it, I'm a bit skeptical about. With you actually like placing your politicians in different regions of Germany to give their little speeches and whatever, to rein in those popularity numbers, to whatever, put specific political ideations to the forefront to capture more voters and whatever. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about, but all of these little subsystems that make up the core of the game are interesting, but I don't think I would ever like fully grasp all of it or enjoy that process. So I'm not sure if I'm even gonna finish this one campaign because it's also so slow, so long. You do play a full year, 365 days up until that election, which then, of course, reveals your result, whether you win or not, whatever. But those 365 days, even like on the fastest time speed or whatever you want to call it, they go on so slowly, and the steps from day to day kind of get repetitive. Even with all of these complex underlying systems, the major steps become so competitive, the campaign becomes so long that I don't know if I really, wanna fucking put all that time into this game that I'm not entirely enjoying anyway. For now, I'm still like kinda in it, mainly because of that card game thing, but very, very likely, high chance that in the next episode I'm gonna put that in the retired thing, and then that's it. I kind of wanna at least finish this one campaign just so I can say I played one full game of this, or one full round, even though there's still 25 other campaign types to play through that I'm never gonna touch. But like, if next time I don't feel like this is actually something I want to spend more time with, I'm just gonna drop it. But we will see about that.
The US version, there's a demo that's free. So I downloaded that, and even just playing through the tutorial was like a trudge for me. So
Yeah.
like, man, even this demo is some tough thing. And it was only like maybe 5 days in that span of the demo itself. And I was like, no, I don't want to deal with this whole thing. So props to you for even completing one campaign on it.
Well,
if you get there.
Yeah. But yeah, that tutorial barely helped me either. Like that. I think I'm not sure if like there's so many different keywords and data points or whatever that I cannot actually tell if maybe some of that is just bloat or if it's genuinely all part of intricate like subsystems that I don't see. Like it's hard for me to gauge that, but like the underlining the point of it all is anyway that if this is not fun, then why think about it? And it's mildly fun. It's not great fun, it's mildly fun. And that's probably not gonna last long. Still think it's probably a good game for people that can actually stick their head into this kind of stuff. Maybe, who knows? But moving on from scary politics to scary dinosaurs, because the last game that I'm playing right now is Dino Crisis, the classic horror survival game.
Dino Crisis. I think of nothing but Dino Crisis.
Is that a quote? What?
It's from a video because Capcom did this poll for the franchises that people want to see back, and all the Resident Evil fans voted for Dino Crisis. And someone, when they were reviewing the results, just said that.
Yeah, I think I remember that now. Yeah. So, Dino Crisis is currently one of the game of the months for October. Of course, we on the forum we have the triple creature feature where we have 3 games instead of just 1 throughout the month, and Dino Crisis won one of those spots, which is cool. So I jumped on that as well. It is a game that I have since childhood been curious about. I remember some childhood friend had the game lying around, and the Europe, specifically the European cover art, where it's just like a freaking close up of a mangy ass velociraptor foot with like a bloody like nail, that sort of thing, has kind of been burned into my brain. I always wanted to know what is actually behind it. I've never seen my childhood friend actually play that game, so I had no idea what it is until I was like an adult. Obviously, it's another, classic horror survival game with fixed cameras and whatever. It's made by Capcom. Yeah, like we said, it is Resident Evil-like, I wanna say. Like, even more so than the usual horror survival game. Very much Resident Evil-like. There are some similarities.
Yeah, I'd say it's RE adjacent for sure.
Yeah. And it's interesting, I think. Like, it's cool to play a horror survival game where you don't get chased by like zombies or ghouls or abstract trauma monsters or whatever, but it's just like stinky ass, goofy ass B-movie dinosaurs the way they were envisioned in the 90s. It makes for a couple of cool visuals and like action set pieces. Gameplay wise, though, this is like especially coming straight from Silent Hill 2. Gameplay wise, this is much rougher. It's not that I have played too many classic horror survival games, but out of the ones that I have experienced, I think Dino Crisis is the most unforgiving one, the harshest one, because of multiple different reasons. Like, for one, the only weapon types are guns, so you are 100% relying on ammunition. There's no melee weapons like you have in a lot of other horror survival games, Silent Hill, for example. You always have a stick to beat people with. Here it's all guns, and the ammunition is extremely sparse, genuinely shockingly sparse, even for this kinds of game, I feel. And it doesn't help that there's a weird crafting system with all sorts of different variants of each item type, including the ammunition and whatnot, which seems like overly complicated to me. The storage system with sort of boxes around the map that you can unlock to keep stuff in is also, in my eyes, just awkward. Of course, they're all like helping to enhance the resource limitations and whatever that are a staple for this kind of game, but it doesn't feel intuitive or fun that much. I also feel like your bag in this, your inventory is like so tiny. It's just frustrating. The dinosaurs, on the other hand, are freaking beasts that just don't wanna like die. They are like genuine fucking monsters. I've screamed and shouted at the screen a couple times when I was walking through a door and had a velociraptor on my ass immediately.
I mean, that seems like an accurate reaction to a velociraptor.
I guess so. But it gets frustrating after a while when you don't have any way of defending yourself. I think there's a lot of obviously with this types of game, there's a lot of emphasis on choosing your battles and evading over actually engaging with the danger and whatnot. And there's a lot of bullet types that don't kill your enemy, but they put them to sleep. You got like the whole what are they called? Well, you know what I mean. They just go and snooze after you poison them, whatever. Tranquilizer weapons, that sort of thing. So that is clearly more of a focus than actually killing them. But even there, you run out really quickly, and you will always like have to keep in mind where the fuck you left those dinos alive, in which hallways, and how to avoid them, or when you have to run. Which is all fine and good. It makes sense for this type of game, but the map that you have to navigate through is really confusing, largely because the room layout just makes no sense. It's all like really jumbled, it feels. In Silent Hill 2, you had not only a very, very helpful map that showed you exactly where you were and automatically like saved a lot of like information on the map as you explored through the locations. It also, Silent Hill 2 just has the right layouts for its locations where it's still like maybe a sort of challenge to explore the place, but not genuinely confusing in a frustrating way. In Dino Crisis, I feel like all those buildings, all those rooms, they are just like a full-on mess, and it's like really a nightmare to navigate them, even with the map. It kind of sucks. And of course, there is a whole bunch of exploration and backtracking as you go, unlocking different parts and finding different elements. I'm not big on that. So it really is a mixed bag. I like the themes. I like dinosaur shit. I like the fun action pieces, and I kind of want to see where this goes. But I am at the point where I'm probably gonna pull out a guide, a walkthrough, and like go through the game that way. This is too tricky, too difficult for me in a way that's not like being the most satisfying challenge than it could be. So yeah. I'm gonna see how far I can get with this. I'm not actually sure if I'm gonna finish the whole thing, but so far I'm still intrigued enough, at least, to give it more time with a guide in hand and see what I can get out of this. But that's Dino Crisis for now. It's a bit of a rough one.
But the crisis will continue.
Yeah. It sure as heck will. And I guess that concludes the playing section, which today we apparently have a rarity on our agenda. We will have a little soapbox section. We will revive that idea from the very first episode of the season, I believe.
Only took us about 15 episodes.
But here we are. The soapbox has been dusted off.
It's an annual thing at this point.
The annual soapbox. So for those that don't remember the first ever episode of our season, the soapbox is an idea where we give one of our co-hosts here 3 minutes on a timer, no more, no less, to rant about a subject or talk about a subject they are passionate about. And today, I believe it is you, Leah. What subject should we brace ourselves for here?
Yeah, it's gonna be about gatekeeping and why it's bad.
Okay.
A topic we can agree on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. Well, it's weird to me when people won't allow new friends or new fans into a fandom. Like, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I totally understand why this sort of thing happens. It happens all the time in the news where it's like us versus them. Like, we can't have outsiders in our new community or whatever. Like, you have like a certain vibe when it comes to a fandom or whatever, and new people are just gonna ruin it because they have like a different aspect of perspective of it from you. But like, there's no way for franchises, games, media, or anything to move on without getting new fans. Like, it's inevitable that like older fans are just going to phase out of your hobby or lose interest in things. They're going to have other responsibilities. You could die, you could get sick, you know, like that sort of thing. Like, you need new fans in order for franchises to stick around. Like, I myself do not want to have to worry about like the news and raiders. Like, to me, they don't exist. I don't care. But I'm not going to get mad at somebody because they've played those and haven't played the originals. I've played a lot of Zelda games. Some people have only played Breath of the Wild. We can connect on Breath of the Wild. We're not going to be able to connect on Minish Cap, and that's fine. Well, I prefer if you went through when you had more knowledge and experience in that franchise, sure. But maybe you decide you don't like Zelda and you go on to like more puzzle games, or you go on to more adventure games. That's fine. I'm not going to penalize you for that. Just like if you were born in the 70s, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the prequel Star Wars now that just got re-released. And like people who were born in the 90s that grew up with that and are enjoying that, you know, they shouldn't be able to like be complained about, whatever. So it's annoying when like people like have when people have a question or whatever, and people are just like, oh, people don't worry about that in this hobby anymore, or people don't do that anymore because it's not fun anymore. That's you. That's like not everybody else. You should be able to welcome people in and be like, okay, yeah, this is how it was done back in the day. It may have changed by now. People might have better things that will help you with that later on. Like, you can't just like tell somebody like, I don't want to go on a road trip with you, so you shouldn't learn to drive. Like, that's completely the opposite of like, just because you don't want to be in a car with this person doesn't mean that that person should never be in a car. Like, they can have their own existence and, you know, in this community, playing this game, playing this thing without having the same perspective as you and as connecting with that with you. So yeah, I don't understand why people are going to do stuff like that. And I've got 20 seconds left. Yeah, and if you play Candy Crush, you are the same amount of gamer as somebody who only plays Call of Duty and FIFA. And you should maybe broaden your experience, but that doesn't make you less of a gamer.
Very gracious. With 3 seconds left, and that is time.
Thank goodness for all the fans of Candy Crush.
Shout out to the Candy Crush gamers. Oh my gosh.
They're candy crushing it, I suppose.
Oh my god.
Well, that was a good 3 minutes there.
It was, honestly.
Good soapbox TED talk right there. And I think we can mostly agree on all that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty uncontroversial statement.
Well, we'll wait until we hear from the Candy Crush gamers. Who knows what they are cooking up right now in the comment section.
But we were defending the Candy Crush gamers. Why would they be upset?
Well, no, but we were also, Leah was saying that they should broaden their horizon, and that might be.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I don't want to judge them too much. I don't want to I don't want to hop on that soapbox as well right now.
Judge not the Candy Crush gamers.
No, but I did say, like, if people only play Breath of the Wild and never play Zelda again, that's fine. But like, it's also like it doesn't mean that you have to play every Zelda ever again. Like, maybe you played it, you decided it wasn't for you. That's okay. Like, you know, just because somebody's played one thing in a franchise and moved on, that's okay too. Like.
Yeah.
I also hate that where people are just like, oh, you haven't played every 15 Final Fantasies, you're like a loser. And it's like, that's not...
Yeah, fuck that.
What do you mean you haven't played Final Fantasy X2?
Yeah, like...
Goddamn.
You only played Kingdom Hearts 1? How dare you? Like, that's not...
But you should totally try Kingdom Hearts 2 because it rules.
Alright. Well, Let us move on to something that the Candy Crush players might enjoy. Actually,
I suppose it does work as a segue.
yeah. So, our discussion topic today is gonna be, again, like the obligatory spooky season Halloween nonsense, and we got a couple questions here that we can ask ourselves. And I think, again, for the Candy Crush players only, very important question right here. We need to answer this well, or we will, I don't know, disappoint our entire audience. I'm very adamant about this one.
No.
What is our favorite Halloween candy?
Mm.
Now I want to hear one answer from everybody, not like here's a list of things I like.
But here's the question: Does it have to be candy that's only available on Halloween, or just candy that you get going trick or treating?
We can let's do a bit of clarifying.
Only snack size.
Before okay.
I don't know about only snack size.
I mean that is a question anyway. Before we give our answers, what is Halloween candy? Because I was thinking about this as a European, where Halloween is like, other than marketing stuff, not really much of a thing. So I can't, like, I'm not going trick or treating. I don't have a staple Halloween candy from that or whatever. So I had to think real hard about my answer. But I guess you two would probably consider Halloween candy specifically a candy you would mostly eat around Halloween, and not just I like Snickers, so that's my favorite or whatever.
I never went trick or treating, so I have no idea.
I'm the opposite. I never really purchased Halloween candy like candy corn and stuff. So for me, what I think of for Halloween candy is more what I was trying to grab from trick or treats, like when they would play, they'd have the basket or whatever they put out there. I'm trying to dig for the one I want, kind of thing.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I would suggest that instead of giving just one answer, you can give one answer for what you want from trick or treating, and one answer that's like a Halloween candy only. That's what I would say.
Like a seasonal candy.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Because they're like two separate categories, I think.
All right. Who wants to? Roy, do you want to? Oh, Leah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, again, my friends always say that I have grandma taste in candy. So my thing has always been whenever they would give us like little trick or treat bags at school or whatever, the only thing I would go for were the Smarties, which were like these little tart, little chalky candies. They were my favorite. Yeah. I don't know why, but they were like, I always used to like go for those, and I would always eat those last because they were my favorite. And for seasonal candy, I can't think of anything outside of candy corn, but there's also like different varieties of candy corn. And I very specifically like the candy corns that are shaped like pumpkins. Those are mine. My choices.
All right.
Pumpkin-shaped candy corn. That's crazy. I've never heard about that.
Yeah, I haven't really heard that either, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually called candy corn, but they're shaped like little pumpkins.
Yeah, we don't have candy corn at all. Like, I'm actually shocked, even after all these years where Halloween, of course, like spread more around the globe and whatever. It's not like a localized American thing anymore. Never ever seen candy corn here in a European store. It has absolutely not made its way across the pond. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm sure if you wanted, you could also just buy it online if you were that curious about it.
Probably.
Although I did that with salty licorice, and I was not.
Oh no, that rules though.
That does kind of rule. Part of the issue for me is I think one of my answers for Halloween candy, I'm not sure if it actually counts even. So I would say for the trick-or-treat Halloween candy, there's definitely a few good options. But if I had to choose one, I probably remember going for Kit Kats the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because stuff like Hershey's are good, but Kit Kats kind of have like a lightness. They're not as heavy, which also is really good when you're like coming back from trick-or-treating. You have like 50 candies, you start chowing down. You want some that are light so you don't just feel overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Less sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kit Kats and Snickers, I think, are the ones that, like, when you don't want to feel like you've just eaten sugar, like, those have, like, some substance to them where you're just like, okay, that felt like sort of a little bit closer to a meal, or maybe like a protein bar.
I don't know if I want to call Snickers close to a meal, to be honest.
whenever I would forget my wallet at home for high school, and like I needed to like scrounge together like something like the cheapest thing that was not chips in the vending machine was a Snickers bar. So that would be like my lunch on the days I forgot. Well, and it would keep me until I got home. So I was like, all right, that seems reasonable. That or Baby Ruth, but I don't know. Do they give out Baby Ruth for Halloween? That seems like cheating almost.
I'm sure that there's some people who do.
That's the one that's just peanuts, right? It's like peanuts and caramel.
I mean, I'm sure that there are people who do Baby Ruth at Halloween.
Oh no, it's not. What am I thinking of then?
Why has Google been such ass recently with putting things I delete back in there?
Life candy research right here on the How Long to Beat podcast.
Payday. I'm thinking of Payday.
Yeah, like I'm even seeing like a whole Butterfinger 100 grand Baby Ruth like Halloween collection that they like sell in stores and
Butterfingers
shit.
are good. I had a Butterfinger thing.
I feel like Butterfingers are
tied into The Simpsons because Bart was in the commercials for it. So I was like, yeah,
Butterfinger.
Butterfinger.
God damn.
Payday is the one I was thinking.
Honestly, I would say for ones that are kind of like a meal or a bar, Twix. That's the first thing that comes to mind after Kit Kat.
This is absolutely the best. I like the red
Twix.
ones.
The red ones, huh?
Yeah, the red Twix.
Red Twix?
The peanut butter ones.
Okay, now I gotta look this up.
Where's this going?
Oh, they just have peanut butter in it. Or
Yeah.
these ones have like strawberry? No, it's just peanut butter.
Yeah, creamy peanut butter Twix. Those are my jam. I just like peanuts.
Okay.
You like some peanuts, man.
But we let us stick to our actual two answers and not like fall down these tangents about like random candy.
Matt, I'm sorry, but you've entered the How Long to Eat podcast. There's no going back.
Oh no. Roy, give me your two answers. How about that?
I gave my one Kit Kat. The problem with my second one is I'm not sure it qualifies as candy. But because I don't actually like most Halloween like year candy, like candy corn and stuff. I'm not really a big fan. But one thing that is good is the Halloween cereal. That is like Halloween exclusive. Your Count Choculas and Boo Berries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Halloween exclusive?
Well, nowadays I think they sell it more around the year. But I think back in the day, I'm pretty sure it was only on Halloween.
I think they have around Halloween. They have special versions. I think that's what I heard, but I'm not over there.
I didn't have a lot of sugary breakfast cereals growing up, but I remember I did like Count Chocula. And the
since 2010,
Boo-berry?
Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula series have been manufactured and sold only for a few months during the autumn Halloween season.
Wow, that's crazy.
So,
I'm
gonna say it is Halloween exclusive.
Yeah, that's good. That's fair.
That just shows how time just didn't make sense as a kid, because I would have sworn it was like a year-round thing. They were just always there because the years just flew by.
Maybe your family just stocked up on like 24 boxes for the whole year.
We definitely didn't. I had to fight to have it in the house.
For what it's worth, when you were a kid, it probably wasn't seasonal.
Maybe.
Right, since 2010 you said, or something like that.
Yeah, we were a dentist household, so sugar was...
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But, and of those cereals, I would probably say off the top of my head, I'd pick Count Chocula, because it's very similar to Reese's Puffs, which I also really like.
Yeah, I've never tried them.
That's a fair choice.
My choices would be Kit Kat and Count Chocula. There you go.
All right. So for me, so the Halloween candy, the actual Halloween candy for me would be the again, there's not much that we could really pull here in Europe that is specifically or thematically Halloween, but my family always used to stock up for Halloween on Haribo vampires, I believe they had called in English. I think in German they are just like bats, called Haribo bats, Fledermäuse or whatever. They're basically a partial fruit gum and partial sweet licorice, and that mixes really well. I have very, very fond memories of chowing down on those while watching some Disney Halloween specials on some kids' TV channel every year. But I don't even eat those anymore because I don't I'm a pescatarian now. I don't eat meat and whatever, and those fucking things are made with bones, so I don't can't even enjoy those anymore. But there are a couple, vegan alternatives that are okay. So that's, I guess, what I can chow on. And then for the regular candy that I would like hunt for, I guess if I was a little American baby boy going trick or treating, I think I would be kind of boring, to be honest, because I think I would probably just hunt down for Milky Ways and here's a bit about a bit of trivia about the Milky Way bar. It's completely different in Europe than it is in the US. I think in the US it has like a caramel part and then like a toffee part or whatever.
Yeah.
And the European version is just chocolate covered marshmallow fluff, just completely white marshmallow fluff with a chocolate cover. Extremely simple, just pure sugar nonsense. But I fucking loved those back in the day, and I still kind of go for those as like a extremely guilty pleasure snack. So that would probably be my hunt. I guess it's good that none of us had we didn't pick the same thing, so we will be able to trade around accordingly when we go trick or treating later.
Which actually does remind me of a question I wanted to ask before we got off this segment. Because I don't know about you guys, but when you go trick-or-treating for me, well, there's always the candies you want, there's always the landmines. The candies that you're like, please don't give it to me, you like 50-year-old lady. So I'm going to ask, when it comes to Halloween candy, what's your least favorite? What's the one you don't want?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, I would have to say all the Haribo gummy things, because again, I don't eat those due to the ingredients. So that's kind of a lame answer.
I appreciate Matt's favorite and least favorite are the same.
Yeah.
The ones for me that are just pure chocolate, like I need something other than just chocolate. Like if it's like a Hershey bar, it's like, come on, like you couldn't even give me like something exciting versus like.
Interesting, yeah.
But like American chocolate is different than European chocolate in general. So like
I heard.
Also American chocolate is just gonna be just so sad. So like you gotta have something else in there. Actual. If it was an like a European chocolate bar, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is gonna take me like 2 days to get through because it's so rich. But yeah, the American one you can have like I could have the whole thing and be like, so anyway, I just had dirt for a bit. Like
damn, zero chill.
Jesus Christ.
My enjoyment of Hershey's is offended.
Oh my god.
I like cookies and cream, but again, at that point, it's not
cookies
chocolate
and cream. So. Cookies and cream Hershey's fucking rule. It's actually my favorite like candy bar probably, but it is really sweet. Not always something I want.
Yeah.
My least favorite, I would have to think probably to be super specific, but generally things like a Payday or the ones that are similar that are basically just peanuts, because I tend to prefer the ones that are not like super peanutty or caramely. Snickers I kind of like, but not as much, because I'm just not huge on peanut or caramel as like in the candy bar form anyway.
Yeah, but on your sandwich you dig the peanut butter, so that's kind of interesting to hear.
I mean, what's funny is I've never actually been a very big peanut butter guy, frankly. I like as a kid I never really enjoyed peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and not even peanut butter ones. But I feel like because what happened is this got ordered for me by someone else, a Smucker's brand. And it's actually just it's better than some of the other peanut butters I've had, so I've been enjoying it more.
It changed your world.
Yeah, or who knows? Maybe the 7-year taste bud switch has been flipped. Now I like peanut butter.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at images on not Google, but like on an image search of Halloween candy just to like get an idea. And these have like individually wrapped Whoppers. Is that a thing? I love Whoppers. I've never seen Whoppers in like
individually wrapped.
Yeah,
aren't those like
just
tiny
like
chocolate balls?
Yeah, it's like a Malteser. Whoppers do
Yeah.
rule,
Yeah,
but I've never seen them in like individually
Yeah.
wrapped. It's always just like the full box.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen an individually wrapped Whopper either.
That is actually horrific. That is scary. What the fuck?
And also milk duds. Milk duds and Heath bars. I don't know what Heath bars. I mean, I've seen them, but I don't remember what they're made of.
I like to think Matt isn't saying that seeing the Whopper candy, but seeing them in an individual wrap, he's like, what the fuck? Who would do this?
Yeah. Yes. That sucks ass.
I mean, if you only want a little bit of Whoppers.
I do appreciate that everything is more individually wrapped now. Not in the sense that it creates more trash, but also like I remember when I was younger, they used to give you just like a candy ball in like those plastic wrappers, and they would come out of the plastic wrapper and it would just be like in the mix of things. I'm like, I don't know whose hands touched that. I don't want that. Give me something that's like wrapped or whatever. So like I appreciate now that more of these things are now coming like individually wrapped, because like I guess more people have peanut allergies now or whatever. So like now everything is just like you just take what you need and nobody else is gonna get like a attack.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently I need to look up Heath bars because this looks amazing.
See, we've already got people going.
Milk chocolate English toffee. Heath bars look really
Does
good.
look like something you'd like.
See, I never go down the candy aisle at the grocery store because I'm more of like a savory person, so I'll just like buy pretzels. So like I don't need like candy, but we might have to stock up for Halloween anyway. So, you know.
Try out some Heath.
Yeah.
This is wild. How long to find your new favorite candy?
I'd also say I didn't answer this because I didn't remember if it counts as Halloween candy, but I don't think it did. So I'm just saying this as a side. If I was confident it counted as Halloween candy, Scooby-Doo gummies would be at the list. Those things fucking rule.
Scooby-Doo. That is scary as well.
I always really like Sour Patch. Like my boyfriend always gets me like Sour Patch hearts because he knows that I don't like chocolate that much. So he gets me the little heart of Sour Patch candies. And that's usually for my Valentine's. I got a trick of somebody online used to say they used to put the Sour Patch in the freezer during the summer. So that way like it'll cool you down as you eat them because they're colder. And that used to really help a lot when I didn't have the AC up yet.
Yeah. People should put more candy in the freezer, like genuinely. That is a good fucking hack.
Good shit.
I do it with chocolate all the time.
The only thing that's sad about the Scooby-Doo gummies is they changed the flavor of the best one, and now it's not as good.
Which one is the best one?
It's the matte blue. It's the blue one. The blue one with the Scooby
I
head.
fucking knew it, man. I never had these, but blue is always the best.
It usually is. Followed by the green one with the mystery machine shape.
Jesus Christ.
I like Twizzlers. I like licorice, but like M&Ms. Nobody said anything about M&Ms or Skittles. Starburst.
I really like M&Ms, but they're not usually something I'm grabbing on Halloween as much.
The strawberry candies. Again, my grandma tendencies are coming in, but like butterscotch and strawberry candies are amazing.
Butterscotch is good. Yeah. I was about to ask when you said Smarties, one of your favorites, why you don't prefer M&Ms because they are so close to each other.
No, your Smarties are different.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are in fact different.
Yeah, they are.
How though?
I know what. Yeah, I'll send you a photo of Smarties. Yes, they're very.
It's been a while since we talked about a video game now.
Yeah.
Well, Smarties in America are like round and flat. I don't even remember if they have chocolate in them.
Yeah, they're very plasticky.
What do you mean? What else?
They're
is
chalky. It's just
Shut
like.
up! Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah.
What?
They should call them Chalkies instead of Smarties.
Yeah.
But because I'll get an image in the U.S. Yeah, this is a Smartie.
Yeah.
But are we what? Okay.
They're like
fucking hell, man.
Do you guys have Necco wafers? It's basically a Necco wafer. If you guys have that, which
I know of them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's essentially what they are.
But is that even the same Smarties or just another candy from another
There's
company?
another
that has the same
candy
name?
called Smarties that was made came out in America at around the same time.
Fucking hell! All right, my mind is blown. I've learned a lot about U.S. culture.
You've learned how inferior American Smarties are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
America, inferior in a lot of things, including candy.
Maybe for this Halloween you should import some and try it.
For $1 million.
I was okay. Hear me out here. I was gonna try to segue into an actual video game question, but I'm kind of actually at this point. Let's just let this be it. Fuck the video games. It's just about candy today.
Look, we'll get back to the games when we get back to the games, just like real life.
Yeah.
So,
is there anything more to say here?
Yeah, I think that's a bigger question. Unless we move away from candies. Because, dude, if somebody gets me donuts on Halloween, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Favorite games that include candy.
Well, I mean, there was Darkened Sky or whatever.
Yeah, Darkened Sky is the Skittles one, right?
Yeah, and then Croc 2 is the Lifesavers one.
Yeah. But has anybody here played any of these? The only candy game I've played is Eminem's Kart Racing on DS, and I've previously said it's one of the worst fucking things I've ever experienced.
Candy Crush. You don't play Candy Crush?
True, we're back to Candy Crush.
We're back to Candy Crush.
I had started playing, was it Eminem's Break'em?
Oh,
sure.
Eminem's Break'em. And then the title screen horrified me, and I shut it off and went to do something else. But I'll get back to it at
Halloween appropriate.
See, now there's how we segue into games that actually scared us. Eminem's Break'em. The title.
Are we going there now?
The title screen that's just hyper zoomed in on a pixelated form of an Eminem's face.
Good lord.
Oh my god, this is wild.
Anyway, I would say for this category, I haven't really played like a lot of horror games or anything. So I'm not really sure how many games have scared me in that sense.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot of scary games because I'm a wuss. But I guess
I just didn't own a lot for a lot of my life. So
yeah, for me, I mean, I wasn't gonna buy them because I knew I was gonna be scared. So I was like, let's not even bother wasting money.
That checks out. That's fair. Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before. Probably the game that scared me the most was Mega Man 64, aka Mega Man Legends 1. Because when I was growing up, I had an extreme fear of bees. And there's like one of the underground area has these bee enemies that keep respawning unless you destroy the hive. When I was like 10 or something, I'm like, nope, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I never got past the first room of that dungeon.
Some game I played in NES that had like some bees that attack you, and I turned it off and never played it again. And I have no idea what that was.
Do you also have a thing with bees?
I used to, yeah. I mean, I used to be super terrified of bugs where I wouldn't even look at like the science section of the library because there might be a bug on the cover of a book. Like I was very, very like terrified of bugs. Now there's like 2 stink bugs in this room. And I'm like, hey, they're just vibing. So like I've come a long way.
Hell yeah.
They're just vibing.
Yeah.
I appreciate you adopting these stink bugs.
I mean, don't like butterflies look weird when they're super zoomed in?
Sure. Yeah, but we do as well, so who are we to judge?
That's fair.
I mean, and so do M&Ms, as we've established.
And so do M&Ms. Goodness gracious.
I mean, for me, one thing is like, there was one time where I got stuck in like a rec center because a bunch of bees were right outside and it made like and were like swarming. And then there was another time where my house, because there was like a net that was had gone a bit busted open in our dryer area, like a whole bunch of like 1,000 or some bees all made a nest, and I woke up and it was a whole thing and we had to flee the house and shit. So for me, part of it is bad experiences.
Right.
Not a fan.
I'm scared of bees because I don't know if I'm allergic, and I don't want to find out.
Yeah, that's very fair.
So like that's the thing where I'm just like otherwise it's fine. I can like if something's gonna like bite me or whatever, like I'm not gonna enjoy it, but at least I know I'm not allergic to them, so it's fine. When I was younger, I used to get like when I went to Puerto Rico, I got like bit by fire ants all the time. So like haven't been back to Puerto Rico. But like but you know,
I'll return to Puerto Rico when they no longer have fire ants.
there's definitely wasp in our backyard too, and I'm just kind of like, ha, I'm gonna. I mean, I can't go out in the backyard anyway because the sun is there, but like other than that,
sun.
like,
That's bad.
yeah,
A gamer's
It's a gamer's mortal
worst nightmare.
enemy. The sun.
Yeah.
This isn't something I technically played because it's unused content. Because I was so big into Mother 3, I looked at the unused Mother 3 sprites for the final boss fight and stuff. And that shit's freaky. That shit kind of freaked me out when I was younger.
Yeah, I believe
Kind
that.
of was really angry.
Yeah, Mother got even the actual game got some wild artwork.
Yeah, definitely.
So I believe that for sure. I remember pissing my pants.
I remember piss.
I remember proverbially pissing my pants when I was a teenager and a childhood friend showed me Fear for the first time, the horror action shooter, which kind of changed my life in how much it partially formed my tastes in horror in video games and in horror a lot. I've been big in love with that game, and it's one of those games where I think back and find it fascinating that we were watching even like just trailers of the game and we were like scared shitless, and it's just so ridiculous in hindsight. And now you just play the game and it's just a bunch of funky B-movie tropes and whatever. It's so funny to me how that changes throughout one's life. And yet, I still have a couple games, even as an adult, that actually managed to scare me, which is every time that happens, I'm actually impressed. And like a lot of those are games that actually try to scare you. As in, I remember playing that Paranormal Activity VR game where you walk around a house as spooky things happen. And of course, VR completely enhances that haunted house experience that actually made me viscerally react to things with my whole body. It was pretty damn cool. And also, Narcosis VR is a deep sea horror game, which triggers my thalassophobia, the fear of the open water, anyway. So that was also partially fricked up, but also awesome. I love those experiences. A game that didn't like plan to be that scary, but still fricked me up at points was actually Grounded. I'm not entirely sure if I talked about this specific bit before, but I remember in Grounded, again, the bug-sized survival game. You explore a big-ass backyard garden, and that backyard garden has a pond, a regular pond, with like a koi fish swimming around. And you can swim through it, you can dive into it. There's stuff under there as well. And that, again, I have I have thalassophobia, so I have a fear of open water. Something about the environment just freaks me out. But that game, even though it is just a pond, I think like that game triggered that phobia more than anything I have ever experienced in a sort of fictional media. I believe because since you are in a bug size, so you're even more vulnerable than you would already be, and everything around you has like a harsh exoskeleton and like stingers and whatever. That without with the loss of control underwater, I think that is just, even though it's a video game, it just triggered so much in my lizard brain, in my monkey stupid ass brain, that it was really rough for me the first couple of times when we had to explore that. And I did play that with a friend in co-op, and my friend had to do some heavy lifting down there. Let me tell you that much. There was quite intense time for a while. But I also believe, because eventually you just spend so much in that environment that you kind of like know it front and back. I do actually genuinely believe that game helped me kind of get over that phobia, and it has never been, triggered that hard ever again by any sort of other media or even like real life experiences whenever I'm like close to a big body of water or whatever. I think that actually kind of helped as exposure therapy or whatever,
I was just
which
thinking,
is dope.
video game exposure therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was in Wind Waker, like after you go back to the starting island and you talk to like the big fish or whatever, I ended up finding an island that had all these flying enemies, and they kind of unnerved me a little bit as a kid for some reason. It's like only a vague recollection, though. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
does stick out to me because I remember I stopped playing the game shortly after.
Some moments just like get burned into your brain. I remember a specific frame in Silent Hill 1 when you unlock the door to the basement in the hospital and you are still standing on top of that stairwell looking down with the creepy industrial ambient sounds. That moment, even though nothing dangerous is happening, just the atmosphere from that moment and that visual has been genuinely been burned to my brain. I think about it very often. It was so effective and so cool.
Yeah,
Love those moments. Yeah.
There's definitely shit like that.
Yeah. I love pissing my pants in fear, dog.
As usual, Matt loves piss.
I was gonna say, very in character.
Jesus. Yeah, I can't argue with that, I guess. Whatever that says about me.
Says you like piss.
I mean, pretty cut and dry, I think, what it says.
It's not very dry. I think it's the opposite of that, actually.
Cut and wet, I suppose, yeah.
Okay. Jesus. And so we found our way from candy to fear to piss. Do we have anything more to say here?
Well, let's just be happy the piss didn't combine with the candy.
Yeah, let's try to avoid that. That's a good call.
Yeah. I know for like the first time that there were like 3D aspects to a game, like Nintendo 64, Mario 64. Like when you first meet that eel the first time was like a very scary.
Of course.
Like being on like the mountain and just having to like look down and be like, oh, there's like I could die if he falls from here. Of course he's not Mario, but like just like that sort of like same thing with like Tomb Raider a lot of the times where it was just like you freak out because you're just like, oh my god, this seems so real, and you know. So
yeah,
there
Tomb Raider was scary. Yeah.
Tomb Raider
had a lot of like those Indiana Jones aspects where you're just walking and you're like, you activated a trap, now things are happening, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
you activated my trap card.
Yeah, like a lot of that those panic mechanics where you're just like, what? I don't know what's going on. Like eventually that like just turned into like quick time events, and then that slowly became like, okay, I'm just gonna push the button now. Like I'm just watching a cutscene. But when they first started, you were just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to operate this camera yet. Like I'm used to just side scrolling shit. So that was sort of a thing. And then I don't know. Like I don't really play a lot of specifically scary things, but like you said, there was a full motion game that I played, motion video game, that I played called The Bunker, and it had that sort of thing where there was like a stairwell, and every time you got to the stairwell, they would have like a zoomed out section of the stairs, and I was like, nothing is going on, but just the suggestion that something might happen just because of where the camera was placed. I was like, I don't even know, like this could just be like completely normal, but it's an empty stairwell. And you took the camera away from me, and I was just like, "What is that supposed to mean? What's happening?" And nothing ever happened. But every time I got to that stairwell, I was like, "This is gonna be the moment where something's gonna happen." So that sort of thing.
Does also, love that too.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the most effective.
Yeah, those very
nothing happens.
Scammers.
Yeah.
Also, I remember the very first time I played, or not the very first time, but in Link to the Past. When I got to a cave for the first time, the cave music scared me because it sounded very like ominous, like boss fight. And I was like, I just walked in here thinking it was a cave. Like I didn't know that there was going to be a boss fight. And it just happens that that's just like the eerie cave music. But I remember like turning down the volume because I was like, the music is freaking me out. And if I don't hear the music, I'm not going to have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the music can also be one of those things where like it'll change.
I find
also for Tomb Raider, I remember there was a lot of times where like when you would hear it read from the disc in the PlayStation, you just hear click click, and I was like, something loaded. What's happening?
Yeah.
Something's gonna jump out.
Yeah.
That is such a specific, you know, of that time experience for gamers.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it. Yeah.
Yeah. There was some game recently that I was playing where my PC's fan just went off, and I had the same reaction where I was like, "Oh no, what's shit's about to go off? Why?" And it like took me back to that. And I was like, "Wow, this."
It'd be funny if immediately your computer crashed instead.
Yeah. I mean, considering the way my card games have been going, it's not too far from.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, talking about music like that I'm gonna just link this for later, like with the group too. Remind me that there's like one Ace Combat 3 song that has like really creepy ambient music.
Ace Combat. That's not a franchise I would expect to be creepy.
Oh, they go places.
Not only that, in that level, there's no enemies. You're just flying through like this creepy underground section pursuing someone, and you have to fly really tightly to the tunnel.
Huh.
It is.
I gotta play one of those games someday.
I'm really interested. I have a few of them. I have a bunch downloaded. They seem very fun, but I owned a PSP one. I tried it a little. It is very difficult, it feels like.
Oh.
But
well, that might be a problem then.
I think it's not difficult in the sense it's hard, like difficulty-wise. But like because it controls like a plane, you know what I mean? You have to reorient your brain, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it took me a bit to get used to that. Plus, I don't like the PSP's control stick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mother 3 has some creepy music too.
Yeah.
The fuck. Yeah. Actually, how can I not mention the fucking Mother 3 forest segment where they're all tripping on mushrooms? That shit's freaky as fuck.
I'm not too familiar, I don't think, but I've seen a lot of weird, random, scary Mother stuff. Earthbound and Mother.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good, like, scary indies on itch.
Yeah,
like
true.
Security Booth was one of them where like nothing really happens, but it's still freaking scary. Like you're really just like watching cars come in and like making sure that they're allowed in to whatever you're secure. And like you gotta like check their plate against something. And it's like very PS1 graphics. So you're just like, you know, you don't know if there's a monster in the woods, you don't know if there's like a monster on your campus, like no idea.
Right.
So like things can happen in different playthroughs, but nothing happened in mine, but I was still terrified the whole time. It was like 15 minutes of terror for nothing.
That's the best. I love that.
That is pretty funny. I mean, I think they said it's a horror game, so I assume something can happen, but
yeah, I've seen things happen for streamers, which is why I was like, oh, I want to play this. This looks like I can get through it. And then as I was playing it, I was like, this was a big regret of mine. Suddenly.
Yeah. I think our audience is like well off with candy recommendations and scary game moments. So how about we move on to guess the game, and the loser can like be scared of the embarrassment of losing or whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Guess the game is the game where the aim of the game is to guess the game. Exactly. I will provide my two co-hosts with completion notes from users of the community, starting with the main completion, the main plus completion, and then 100% completion. And they will have to guess what game it is from. The earlier, the more points they get. Currently, the entire scoreboard is as follows. Diallo with 5 points, then Roy with 6 points, Leah with 7 points, and me with 8 points.
We gotta knock him off.
Yeah, like everything is open here. Everybody can like kind of take the crown with a bit of effort and luck. This is a game that you have both beaten. I wonder if it might be the last. Like I think we're really getting to the end of those.
Yeah, I mean it's a thin list.
Yeah, it's a very thin list. But you have definitely both beaten this one. And I will provide to you the first completion note now. This is a main completion by user Story Lover for 13 hours and 25 minutes, a replay. And they say, the game is not as amazing as I remember. Looking back at this game I remember playing doesn't age well controls-wise.
So 13 and a half hours, and it doesn't age well control-wise.
Yeah.
It's gotta be something Leah's being. I'm gonna say Super Mario 64.
Wild.
Gonna say Metroid Zero Mission.
Also wild. Super Mario 64, isn't that like beloved for its control scheme? And whatever.
Yeah, but I'm thinking camera controls.
Oh.
Because everybody complains about the camera.
Do you not think Lucky 2 is doing a good job? That's really, really mean of you to say. Well, I will reveal that Roy is actually correct. It is Super Mario 64. So that was a really quick one.
Yay, I get 3.
Yeah, you get 3, and that also actually puts you on number 1 now with 9 points. So there you are. Yeah, it's like, I guess Super Mario 64, because so popular, it's not surprising that you both have beaten it. I was really trying to find completion notes that not immediately fucking give it away.
Yeah, that's.
I was actually surprised for such a classic of a game. There weren't actually that many completion notes to begin with. Like there are a bunch, but
in a weird way, I wonder if
more.
it's because everybody kind of it's already been talked about so much.
Sure.
I'm also curious if there's a lot of like main plus completion notes because people do extras.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like
My
it.
favorite one was actually, I actually want to shout out to this. A 100% completion note by the Paulinator, who said 120 stars on my personalized copy. And the astute creepypasta fan might understand what that is referring to. Which that gave me a little chuckle.
Yeah.
The ancient theory that every copy of Mario 64 is personalized for some reason.
But that's just a theory. A game theory.
A game theory. Thank you, MadPad. Thank you for joining our podcast.
I mean, we have MadPad at home right here.
I am only Matt. I am not a pad. Do not ever claim I am. Okay, well, that is the end of our spookiest of spooky season episodes. Let us know what candy you put on your shopping list after you listen to all of this nonsense. And again, if there's a lawyer in the audience, let us know if these localized Pokemon names are also trademarked. I think so. Somebody has to settle this argument. Please help us.
And if you play Candy Crush, don't forget to tell us if you're going to expand your gaming horizons.
Yes, please. Thank you. I hope all of you have a nice rest of your spooky season, and don't piss your pants too much in fear. It's only fun in certain limits. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, jump scare.
Oh!